So very good morning dear children. In the previous class we are discussed about our constitution. So the meaning, the importance and also some of the important aspects of constitution. So here you know very well every institutions like the schools and many of the organizations and some of the important institutions having their own rules and regulations, because to facilitate the good administrations to their citizens or their members, so the rules and regulations are very necessary or important. As the same manner, the country having their own rules and regulations to facilitate the good administrations to their citizens. So like I already told you in the previous class, what is constitution means. The constitution is a book, it's a written book which consists of rules and regulations, fundamental rights and duties, and after that the functions of the government. It's become a guidelines. That means the book is give guidelines to the government how it's perform their functions. So like totally the constitution is a set of basic laws or basic rules. It's become a set of, the constitution is a set of basic rules. Basic rules followed by a country. Followed by a country. That means it's a fundamental law of the country. That means it's a basic or a fundamental law of the country. So especially constitution is a set of basic rules followed by a country. That means every citizens of the country follow the rules which was already mentioned in our constitution. It gave guidelines to the government and some of the organizations regarding to their functions and also powers. So totally the constitution is very necessary for every country. So like in the previous class we already learned about how the constitution is very necessary for us. It's also a fundamental law of the country. No one cannot easily violate the rules and regulations of our constitution. That means the prime minister, not only a common people, the prime minister, president, chief minister and all the officers, judges, everyone should be adhered to it. And after that, we already know about that here in the constitution we have to form the fundamental rights, duties and the directive principles of our constitution, the powers and functions of the government. That means the constitution is gave guidelines to the government how it's become perform their duties and also what are the important powers of the government. These are all the important facts we easily found in the constitution. That means these are all the points were mentioned in our constitution. So that's why the government, the constitution is very important to every country. So and after that you already know about that so many people like every people are also bounded by it. In the previous class we have discussed about what are the significance and why the constitution is necessary for us. I already told you the constitution is gave protections to the rights. That means the constitution is protect the rights of the human beings as per every citizens are equal before the law. That means we cannot discriminate people on the basis of their gender, religion or race. Every citizens of the country equal before the law. That is the main policy of our constitution. And after that the functions has become a reference. The functions of a reference guide to the duties of the government, the duties performed by the government. That means the constitution gives some guidelines to the government how it's perform their duties and also powers. It's become a, that means the constitution function is become a guidelines are a reference guidelines to the performance or works done by the government. And after that the constitution is completely cooperated with the institutions, that means democratic institutions. Which are the important democratic institutions? I already told you the important organs of our government. So which are the important organs of government? Legislature, executive cooperated with the works of the democratic institutions like legislature, executive and judicial. So and after that it also organizes the better relationship. The constitution develops or organizes the better relationship between every individual and also state. So these are all the importance of our constitution. It protects the human rights and also it gave guidance to the government for their functions and also works. It develops good relationship between the state and also every individual. These are all the main importance of our constitution. So I already told you, you might have heard the name of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who was known as the architect of our constitution. So he was one of the most important Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who was known as the architect of our constitution. He played one of the important role in the presentation or preparation of our constitution. So you already know about that many of the committees in the year of 1947, in the year of many of the important committees were formed to give some guidelines and ideas how to form the constitution in India. So at that time first the Constituent Assembly was came into existence. That means before the constitution came into force, the Constitution Assembly was came into being. So when the Constitution Assembly was came into being in India, Dr. Babu Rajendra Prasad was become president of our Constituent Assembly. ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಜಾರಿ ಬರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂಚೆನೇ ಸಂವಿಧಾನದ ರಚನಾ ಸಮಿತಿ ಬಂತು. ಅಲ್ಲಿನ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು ಯಾರಾಗಿದ್ದಾರಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್. Dr. Babu Rajendra Prasad was become a president of Constituent Assembly. So and after that, so when the Constituent Assembly was came into being, so at that time the 299 members were there. The 299 members were there in the Constituent Assembly. As a result, what happened is all the 299 members gathered. So they made so many meetings. They arranged many of the meetings. As a result, the various committees are organized in India. So when the Constituent Assembly was came into being, so on that time the 299 members were there in the Constituent Assembly. These all the members were gathered and they made some of the discussions. So as a result of the discussions, the various committees came into existence or came into being in India. In order, these all the committees were gave the different suggestions, ideas, some of the plans to organizing of our constitution. So as a result, what happened is finally the drafting committee was came into being under the chairmanship of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who was known as the architect of our constitution. So ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಸೆಂಬ್ಲಿ 299 ಜನ ಸದಸ್ಯರನ್ನು ಒಳಗೊಂಡಂತ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಯೆಂಟ್ ಅಸೆಂಬ್ಲಿ ರಚನೆ ಆಯಿತು. ಇವರೆಲ್ಲರ ಚರ್ಚೆಗಳ ಫಲವಾಗಿ ಏನಾಯಿತು ಅಂದರೆ ಕೊನೆಯದಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಡ್ರಾಫ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಆಯಿತು. ಸೊ ಈ ಡ್ರಾಫ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಕಮಿಟಿಯ ಚೇರ್ಮನ್ ಯಾರಪ್ಪ ಆದರು ಅಂದರೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ B.R. Ambedkar. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಯೆಂಟ್ ಅಸೆಂಬ್ಲಿ ವಾಸ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಾಬು ರಾಜೇಂದ್ರ ಪ್ರಸಾದ್, ಬಟ್ Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was become a chairman of the drafting committee. So finally, here many of the progresses, many of the discussions were held in the Constituent Assembly or drafting committee. So finally, every members are submitted so many amendments in front of the Constituent Assembly. So how many amendments they are submitted in front of the Constituent Assembly means 2473. 2473 amendments were presented or submitted all the members of the Constituent Assembly. So finally, so the drafting committee on the proposed amendments of the drafting constitution was verified or discussed in the meeting. So that means what are the important amendments were submitted by the 299 members of the Constituent Assembly. So they are submitted the 2473 the Constituent Assembly. Finally, the Constituent Assembly was made some of the meetings and accepted the proposal amendments given by the members of the Constituent Assembly. It's taken 3 years. So the Constituent Assembly was taken 3 years time for the that means the Constitution have the final shape of our Constitution. So when the 2000, that means the 299 members were gathered, they are made so many meetings. After their discussion, so they are submitted 2473 amendments in front of the Constituent Assembly. The Constituent Assembly must take some of the time to verify that amendments, and they make some discussions with other members of the Constituent Assembly, and finally as a result what happened means, so his proposal, that means they are wanted, that means the proposal to give final shape to our Constitution. So the Constituent Assembly take 3 years time for to give the final shape to our Constitution. ಈ ಕಾಮನ್ ಆಗಿ 299 ಜನರು ಸೇರಿಕೊಂಡು ಸುಮಾರು 2473 ಅಮೆಂಡ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳ ಒಂದು ಕಾಪಿಯನ್ನು ಇಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಂಟ್ ಅಸೆಂಬ್ಲಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಇಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಂಟ್ ಅಸೆಂಬ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಇದು ಇವರು ಇಟ್ಟಂತ ಅಮೆಂಡ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಒಪ್ಪಿಗೆ ವೆರಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಒಪ್ಪಿಗೆ ನೀಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸುಮಾರು 3 ವರ್ಷಗಳು 3 ಇಯರ್ಸ್ ಟೈಮ್ ತಗೊಂಡು, ಸೊ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಸೊ ದ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಂಟ್ ಅಸೆಂಬ್ಲಿ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಗಿವ್ ಫೈನಲ್ ಶೇಪ್ ಟು ಅವರ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್. ಆಸ್ ಅ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ our Constitution is came into force in India on 26 January 1950. So as a result, finally the Indian Constitution is came into force on 26 January 1950. So when that means the indication of this date or the representation, the 26th is marked as a Republic Day every year. This date is represented every year. We celebrated Republic Day on 26 January. So after our Constitution is declared, India is become a republic country. ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು, ಈ ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯ ಬಂದ ನಂತರವನ್ನೇ ಭಾರತವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯ, ಈ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಬಂದ ನಂತರ ಭಾರತವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರೆದ್ವಿ, ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯ ದೇಶ, ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಕರೆದ್ವಿ, ಭಾರತದ ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ when the Constitution is came into force on 26 January 1950, after our Constitution declared India has become a republic country. So first, that means every year 26th November, that means November 26th is celebrated as a Constitutional Day. November 26th, every year November 26th is celebrated as a Constitutional Day. Constitutional Day because, so first the Constitution was approved, that means it's become approved in the year of like 1949. In the year of 1949, November 26th, the Constitution, that means Indian Constitution, was approved by the Constitution Assembly. As a result, every year the November 26th is celebrated as a Constitutional Day. But regularly, so that means every year 26th January is celebrated as a Republic Day because the Indian Constitution is came into force in India on 26th January. So we marked January 26th as a Republic Day. But in the year of 1949, November 26th, Indian Constitution was approved by the Constitution Assembly. As a result, so every year November 26th is celebrated as a Constitutional Day. ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋಂಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ ಜನವರಿ 26ನ ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯ ದಿನ ಅಂತ ಆಚರಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ನವೆಂಬರ್ 26ನ ನಾವು ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ದಿನ ಅಂತ ಆಚರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ 1949 ನವೆಂಬರ್ 26ರಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಸೆಂಬ್ಲಿಯಿಂದ ಭಾರತದ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ರಚನೆಗೆ ಒಪ್ಪಿಗೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ every year November 26th is celebrated as a Constitution Day. So you already know about that. So like according to the directive of our Constitution, so you already know about that. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, so first law minister, so when Jawaharlal 1947, 15th August, when India got independence. That means 15th August 1947 to January 26, 1950. 1950. So the Ambedkar working years. That means that time Jawaharlal Nehru was become chosen as Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was become a law minister of our country. So Ambedkar he was working as a law minister up to from 15 August 1947 to January 26, 1950. So when India got independence, in that time too, so when Indian Constitution came into force, up to some of these like 3 years, the Ambedkar was become worked as a law minister in India. As a result, what happened means after when our constitution came into force on 26 January 1950, the directions of the Indian constitution, the general elections were started in India in the year of 1951 to 1952. In the year of 1951 to 1952, commonly the general elections were started in India. So like the parliament, the Indian parliament has a bicameral system. What is some constitution having a single house, that is called as unicameral system, like unicameral parliament system. So some of the important constitution like American, some of the other countries have a unicameral system, but India is become a good example for the bicameral parliament system. Here the parliament, the Indian parliament consists of two houses. The Indian parliament consists of two houses. Which are the important two houses means? One is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Totally Indian parliament consists of two houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha is called as a lower house and Rajya Sabha is called as a upper house. So when our constitution is came into force in India, so after the directions of the constitution, so the general elections were held in the year of 1951 to 1952, and after that the Indian parliament system is called as a bicameral parliamentary system. Here the Indian parliament consists of two houses. One is Lok Sabha and also Rajya Sabha. Like the single type of the government we found in, that means it came to force in 1952. So when the general elections were started in India, after that the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha came into being in India in the year of 1952. So 1952ರಲ್ಲಿ ಚುನಾವಣೆಗಳು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭವಾದ ನಂತರ, ಸೊ ಜನರಲ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆದ ನಂತರ 1952ರಲ್ಲಿ ಲೋಕಸಭಾ ಮತ್ತು ರಾಜ್ಯಸಭೆ ಕೂಡ ಜಾರಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So and after that, so nowadays you already know about that we found the same constitution for both state and also central administration. Here in our constitution consists of 395 articles, but present in some of the informations like 448 articles are there in our constitution. In 25 parts, consists of 395 articles. In some of the information in 2000 totally 448 articles were there in our constitution, and after that 12 schedules were found in our constitution. Especially I already told you the important and special feature of our constitution is it's become a lengthiest written constitution in the world. So it consists of 448 articles in 25 parts, and after that 12 schedules. So in the preamble is called as a heart of our constitution. The preamble of the constitution is called as a heart of our constitution. So especially in the preamble is one of the main part of our constitution. It consists of so many ideologies. What are the important ideologies means? Justice, fraternity, equality, liberty, self-respect and national integrity. So some of the important ideologies we found in represented in the preamble of our constitution. What are the important ideologies we found in the constitution preamble means? So like justice, freedom. So these are all the important ideologies we found in the or represented in the preamble of our constitution. So the preamble consists of the most important information. So that's what the preamble of our constitution is called as the heart of our constitution. ಈ ಪ್ರಿಯಾಂಬಲ್ ಪ್ರಸ್ತಾವನೆಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಸಂವಿಧಾನದ ಹೃದಯ ಅಂತಲೇ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಮುಖವಾದಂಥ ಐಡಿಯಾಲಜೀಸ್ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವು ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಸಮಾನತೆ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಆತ್ಮಗೌರವ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಇದೆಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತೆ ಹಲವಾರು ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೇವೆ. So here the preamble, like what is the Indian Constitution preamble says, that means every peoples are become equal before the law. We cannot discriminate the people on the basis of gender, caste or religion. Every people, so that means all the citizens of the country are become equal in front of the or before the law. Here the India is a, it is a preamble. So here we found the India having resolved constitution India. It's the India is a sovereign socialist republic democratic country. That means the India secure all its citizens. So India is a secular republic and democratic. Secular republic, sovereign and republic country, and also independent country. Here the government, democratic means here the government is formed for the people, to the people and of the people. So the preamble of our constitution represented every people. That means like some of the important ideologies. What are the ideologies mean? Fraternity, equality and self-respect. These are all the ideologies we found in the preamble. As a result, every people or every citizens equal before the law. The India is a secular republic, socialist, democratic and independent country. So next, justice. So in Indian Constitution, preamble of the Indian Constitution represented the different type of the justice. What are the important justice? Like economic justice, and after that social justice, political justice. That means every people are participated in the activities in the field of social or economic field or in some of the political field also. That means the citizens were played one of the important role in different fields, like the justice like economic justice, political justice and social justice we found in the preamble of our constitution. And after that, liberty. That means I already told you. So the expression, belief, thought or religion, in this matter every people are also depend upon their interest, and so their ideas they are accepted any of the religion if it's become the choice of that person. So ಯಾರು ಯಾವ ಧರ್ಮವನ್ನು ಬೇಕಾದರೂ ಯಾವ ಧರ್ಮಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾದರೂ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾವ ಧರ್ಮದ ತತ್ವಗಳನ್ನ ಬೇಕಾದರೂ ನಿಯಮಗಳನ್ನ ಬೇಕಾದರೂ ಪಾಲಿಸ್ಬೋದು. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಅಪಾನ್ ದೇರ್ ಬಿಲೀಫ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಟೋಟಲಿ every, that means the people will become free. So from their beliefs, expressions, thoughts, and after that their religion, their faith, everything. So like, and after that equality. That means every opportunity, all the opportunities provided to all the citizens of a country, because so every people are also equally enjoyed all the important advantages or some of the important opportunities enjoyed by the citizens of a country equally. So and finally the Constituent Assembly. That means it's become, I already told you. So important guidelines. The preamble, Indian Constitution is gave some guidelines to the government or some other institutions regarding to their powers and also functions. These are all the important facts we found in the preamble of our constitution. I think children you understand. ಈಗ ಕಾಮನ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಿ ಆರ್ ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ನ ಸಂವಿಧಾನದ ಶಿಲ್ಪಿ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಪ್ಲೇಡ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ರೋಲ್ ಇನ್ ದ that means he was played one of the important role in the construction of our constitution. That means built by our constitution. That's why he was called as the architect of our constitution. Here, so when first the Constituent Assembly was came into force in India, on that time it consists of 299 members. Constituent Assembly bantu 299 members ಇದ್ರು. So when the 299 members were make some of the discussions meetings, as a result various committees were formed in India to give some guidelines, suggestions and also plans, ideas to forming of our constitution. ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂವಿಧಾನವನ್ನು ರಚನೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸಲಹೆಗಳನ್ನ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಮಾಹಿತಿಗಳನ್ನ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ತಮ್ಮದೇ ಆದಂಥ ಯೋಜನೆ ರೂಪುರೇಷೆಗಳನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಬಹುದು. As it is, various committees were started in India. ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಮಿಟಿಗಳು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಆಯಿತು. Finally, so one of the main important committee was came into being in India, which was the committee means drafting committee under the chairmanship of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar ಅವರ ನೇತೃತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಡ್ರಾಫ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಬಂತು. ಈ ಡ್ರಾಫ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ ಸುಮಾರು 299 ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಸೇರಿ ಹಲವಾರು ಚರ್ಚೆಗಳ ನಂತರ 2473 ಅಮೆಂಡ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಒಳಗೊಂಡಂಥ ಒಂದು ಕೃತಿಯನ್ನು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಸೆಂಬ್ಲಿಗೆ ಇಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅದು ಪೂರ್ಣವಾದಂಥ ಅಧಿಸೂಚನೆ ಪಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒಪ್ಪಿಗೆಯನ್ನು ಪಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸಂವಿಧಾನವನ್ನು ರಚನೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ. ಬಟ್ ದ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಸೆಂಬ್ಲಿ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಟು ಟೈಮ್ ಫಾರ್ 3 years to verify that amendments, and after the finally after the 3 years it gave final shape to our constitution. 3 ವರ್ಷಗಳ ನಂತರ ಒಂದು ಸಂವಿಧಾನಕ್ಕೆ ತನ್ನದೇ ಆದಂಥ ಒಂದು ರಚನೆಯನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಾದ ನಂತರ 1951-52 ಜನರಲ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಭಾರತದ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸತ್ತನ್ನು ನಾವು ಬೈಕಮ್ಯಾರಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಈ 2 ಸದನಗಳನ್ನ ಒಳಗೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಲೋಕಸಭೆ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ರಾಜ್ಯಸಭೆಯನ್ನು ಒಳಗೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಕೆಲವು ಸಂವಿಧಾನಗಳು ಕೆಲವು ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಸಂಸತ್ತು ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಸದನವನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ಯೂನಿಕಾಮರಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ದ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ it consists of 2 houses, so it's called as a bicameral system of parliament. So finally this whole aspects, so what are the important aspects or important matters information there in the preamble of our constitution. I already told you the preamble is one of the main part of our constitution. So the preamble of our constitution is called as a art of constitution. So which is called as the art of our constitution means the preamble. The preamble is called as a art of constitution. Art of constitution. So it's very important, children. The preamble is called as the art of our constitution because it consists of different ideologies like equality, fraternity and freedom, self-respect. Some of the important ideologies we found in the preamble. So it's called as the art of the constitution. So next let us move on to the silent features of our constitution. So what are the important silent features we found in the Indian constitution? I think you understand. Next, let us move on to the silent features of our constitution. Silent features of constitution. The first one. So, what is the first silent feature of our constitution? It is a written constitution. The first feature is written constitution. Written constitution. I already told you, children, the Indian constitution is a very lengthiest and also written constitution in the world. It consists of 445. That means it consists of present. It consists of the 448 articles, 12 schedules. The 448 articles in 12 parts, but in some of the books it's referred 395 articles and also 12 schedules we found in the Indian constitution. So here you already know about that. So in the structure, that means in the constitution we have to form the fundamental rights, fundamental duties, the directive principles of the state, and after that what are the important powers and functions of the government, and what are the how is the structure of the key organs of our government, and which are the important organs of our government like legislature, executive and judiciary. And it's a single constitution. That means the Indian constitution is a single constitution, both central and that's why the Indian constitution is become large or big in their size. It consists of 395 articles in 25 parts and 12 schedules. As a result, I already told you it's not only consists of the schedules and articles, it's also represented the fundamental duties, the fundamental rights, the directive principles of the state policy, and after that the structures, powers and functions of the three organs of our government like legislature, executive and judiciary. So the Indian constitution is a very lengthiest and written constitution in the world. So next, let us move on to the second feature. What are the second feature means? It is a republic. Republic means, I already told you, in India in the year of 1951 to 52, general elections were started in India. So especially it's that Indian constitution did not give any importance to the king's rules. Here the people or representatives who are elected by the people, so they are easily run the administration of our country. That means the representatives of the representatives means the elected members who are elected by the people, so they are ruling the country, so they are become so announce their administration in the country. So here the elected representatives by the people, so they are having the power. There is no importance for the rule of king. That means the representatives are elected members by the people. They have power to run the administration in our country. So India, which kind of political system is called as a democratic system of administration? Here I already told you, here the government is completely formed by the people. So the representative who are elected by the people, they are run the administration in their country. The political, these type of the political system in India is called as a democratic administrative system. Democratic administration system. That means there is no need or there is no importance for the rule of the kings. Here the main members like the representatives who are elected by the people, they are working or run the administration of the country. So the India is called as a republic country. So this is also one of the main feature of our constitution. The first one is written constitution and the next one is India is a republic country. So next we move on to the another point. So in the next class we are discussing